As we grow older, one of the most underestimated changes happening inside the body has nothing to do with wrinkles, joints, or even muscle loss. It's sleep. Not just how long we sleep, but how deeply, how consistently, and how effectively our bodies recover while we sleep. Many older adults believe restless nights are simply part of aging. Waking up too early, lying awake with a racing mind, or feeling exhausted all day yet wide awake at night becomes almost normalized. But this isn't just aging. It's biology shifting out of alignment. At the center of this change is your circadian rhythm, your internal 24-hour clock. This clock controls when you feel alert, when you feel sleepy, how hormones are released, and even when your cells repair themselves. In younger years, this system runs smoothly. Light during the day signals wakefulness, darkness at night triggers sleep. But with age, this timing system slowly loses precision. The brain structure responsible for keeping this rhythm on track becomes less sensitive to light cues. That means your body struggles to clearly recognize when it's time to be awake and when it's time to rest. The result? Lighter sleep, frequent awakenings, and difficulty reaching deep restorative sleep. Another major factor is melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Melatonin production naturally declines with age. By the time many people reach their 60s or 70s, nighttime melatonin levels can drop dramatically. This makes it harder to fall asleep and even harder to stay asleep long enough for true recovery. But sleep problems don't stop there. Aging also affects your brain chemistry. Calming neurotransmitters like GABA, responsible for quieting mental chatter, become less active. Meanwhile, stimulating signals stay switched on longer than they should. That's why so many older adults feel tired but wired at night. On a cellular level, poor sleep accelerates aging itself. Deep sleep is when the body repairs DNA, restores energy-producing mitochondria, balances hormones, and clears toxic waste from the brain. When sleep becomes shallow or fragmented, these repair systems slow down. Over time, this contributes to faster biological aging, weaker immunity, memory decline, and metabolic problems. Sleep deprivation doesn't just make you feel tired, it changes how your body ages. The good news? These changes are not permanent. Sleep biology can be retrained. Your internal clock can be supported. And one of the most powerful tools to do that isn't medication or gadgets, it's daily habits, timing, and nutrition. Sleep is not passive rest. It's active repair. And restoring it is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward healthier aging. Most people think of sleep as something that begins when the lights go off. But in reality, sleep starts much earlier, often at the dinner table. What you eat during the day, and especially in the evening, directly shapes the chemistry of your brain at night. Sleep is not just a habit. It's a biochemical process. Your brain relies on specific nutrients to shift from alertness into deep, restorative rest. Without those nutrients, even the perfect sleep environment won't help. One of the most important building blocks for sleep is an amino acid called tryptophan. Your body cannot produce it on its own. It must come from food. Once consumed, tryptophan is converted into serotonin, a neurotransmitter associated with calmness and emotional stability. As night approaches, serotonin is then transformed into melatonin, the hormone that signals your body to sleep. This means melatonin doesn't magically appear at bedtime. It's created step by step from the nutrients you consume earlier in the day. Foods naturally rich in tryptophan include eggs, turkey, salmon, pumpkin seeds, and dairy. But here's something most people don't realize: tryptophan has to compete with other amino acids to reach the brain. On its own, much of it never gets there. That's where complex carbohydrates come in. When you pair tryptophan-rich foods with slow-digesting carbohydrates, like oats, quinoa, or sweet potatoes, your body releases a small amount of insulin. This gently clears the path, allowing more tryptophan to enter the brain. The result is higher serotonin levels and a smoother transition into sleep later that night. Another critical nutrient for sleep is magnesium. Magnesium helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of the body responsible for relaxation and repair. It also supports GABA, the neurotransmitter that quiets excessive brain activity. Low magnesium levels are extremely common in older adults. Reduced absorption, medication use, and modern food processing all contribute. Without enough magnesium, the brain stays overstimulated, making it difficult to unwind at night. Leafy greens, almonds, avocados, dark chocolate, and legumes are excellent natural sources. Including these foods regularly can noticeably reduce nighttime restlessness. But sleep isn't just about what you add, it's also about what you remove. Caffeine consumed too late in the day can linger in the system for hours longer than expected, especially with age. Alcohol, while it may make you feel sleepy initially, fragments sleep and suppresses REM, the stage crucial for memory and emotional regulation. Even heavy meals late at night can disrupt sleep by keeping body temperature and insulin levels elevated when they should be falling. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to these disruptions. Melatonin levels are already lower, so nutrition plays a larger role in supporting sleep chemistry. Food is not just fuel. It's instruction. Every meal sends signals that either prepare your brain for rest or keep it on high alert. By choosing the right nutrients and combinations, you can support natural melatonin production and reclaim deeper, more restorative sleep, without medication. When it comes to sleep, timing is just as important as nutrition. You can eat all the right foods, but if you eat them at the wrong time, your body may still struggle to rest. Your body operates on an internal clock known as the circadian rhythm. This clock doesn't just control sleep and wakefulness, it regulates digestion, hormone release, body temperature, and cellular repair. Every organ in your body follows this timing system. For thousands of years, human eating patterns were naturally aligned with daylight. People ate during the day and fasted at night. But modern life has disrupted this rhythm completely. Artificial lighting, late dinners, and nighttime snacking send mixed signals to the body, creating biological confusion. Here's what happens when you eat late at night. Your brain may be preparing for sleep, but your digestive organs suddenly receive a message to wake up and get to work. The liver, pancreas, and gut activate their own internal clocks in response to food. This creates a mismatch between your central clock in the brain and your peripheral clocks in the organs, a condition known as circadian misalignment. This misalignment interferes with melatonin release. Instead of rising smoothly in the evening, melatonin production is delayed. As a result, falling asleep becomes harder, and sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. Research consistently shows that finishing your last meal 2 to 3 hours before bedtime allows the body to shift naturally into repair mode. Body temperature begins to drop, insulin levels fall, and melatonin can rise without interference. Late-night eating does the opposite. Digestion raises core body temperature, which signals wakefulness to the brain. Even a small snack can be enough to delay sleep onset and reduce deep sleep. Meal timing also affects blood sugar stability during the night. When glucose levels rise and fall unpredictably, the body releases cortisol to compensate. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Its presence during sleep often leads to early awakenings, particularly around 2 o'clock or 3 a.m., a common complaint among older adults. There's also a powerful connection between meal timing and cellular repair. During sleep, especially when the digestive system is quiet, the body activates autophagy. This is the process where damaged cells, worn-out proteins, and dysfunctional mitochondria are recycled and removed. Eating too late shuts this process down. For seniors, this matters even more. As metabolism slows and circadian rhythm weakens with age, the body becomes less forgiving of irregular timing. But the encouraging news is that timing can retrain the clock. Consistent meal schedules act as anchors for your circadian rhythm. When you eat at the same times each day and stop eating earlier in the evening, your body begins to anticipate rest. Hormones align. Sleep pressure builds naturally. Falling asleep becomes easier. This isn't about extreme fasting or restriction. It's about rhythm. By respecting your body's natural timing, eating earlier, staying consistent, and allowing the night to be a true rest period, you create the biological conditions for deeper, more restorative sleep. And when sleep improves, everything else follows. When it comes to improving sleep, no single nutrient works alone. Sleep is the result of multiple systems working together: brain chemistry, hormone signaling, nerve activity, and metabolism. This is why nutrient synergy is so powerful. Nutrient synergy means that certain vitamins, minerals, and amino acids enhance each other's effects when consumed together. For sleep, this interaction is not optional, it's essential. Take melatonin production as an example. Melatonin is not created in one step. It follows a chain reaction: tryptophan becomes serotonin, and serotonin becomes melatonin. Each step requires specific nutrients to move forward efficiently. Vitamin B6 plays a key role in converting tryptophan into serotonin. Without enough B6, even a tryptophan-rich diet may fail to support sleep. Foods such as bananas, chickpeas, sunflower seeds, and salmon naturally supply this vitamin. Magnesium works alongside B6 by calming the nervous system. It activates the body's relaxation response and supports GABA, the neurotransmitter that slows racing thoughts. Together, magnesium and B6 create a biochemical environment that allows the brain to transition smoothly into sleep. Another important partnership is between calcium and magnesium. Calcium helps signal the brain to release melatonin, while magnesium ensures muscles and nerves relax properly. When these minerals are out of balance, people often experience leg cramps, restlessness, or frequent awakenings at night. This is why foods like yogurt with nuts, sardines with leafy greens, or fortified plant-based alternatives can be especially helpful in the evening. There's also a powerful relationship between complex carbohydrates and protein. Protein provides tryptophan, while complex carbohydrates help that tryptophan reach the brain. A small, balanced evening meal, such as oatmeal with seeds or quinoa with vegetables, can gently encourage melatonin production without overstimulating digestion. Omega-3 fatty acids add another layer of support. These fats improve communication between brain cells and help regulate circadian rhythm. They also reduce inflammation, which is increasingly linked to poor sleep quality in older adults. Fatty fish, flax seeds, and chia seeds are excellent sources. Omega-3s work even better when paired with vitamin D, which helps regulate serotonin-related genes. Because vitamin D production from sunlight declines with age, this combination becomes increasingly important for maintaining stable mood and sleep patterns. One often overlooked nutrient is glycine. Glycine helps lower core body temperature, a key trigger for sleep onset. It's found in bone broth, collagen-rich foods, and gelatin. When paired with magnesium or calcium, glycine can promote deeper, more continuous sleep without next-day grogginess. Blood sugar stability is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Sharp drops in blood sugar during the night can trigger stress hormones and wake you suddenly. Pairing carbohydrates with healthy fats or proteins slows digestion and keeps glucose levels steady. This is why a small combination like apple slices with nut butter or yogurt with seeds can support uninterrupted sleep. The human body evolved to respond to whole foods, not isolated compounds. That's why food combinations often work better than supplements alone. When nutrients arrive together in their natural form, they send clear, coordinated signals to the brain. For older adults, nutrient synergy becomes even more important. Absorption efficiency declines with age, and combining foods helps compensate for these changes. Sleep improves when the body receives the right signals, at the right time, in the right combinations. And when sleep improves, repair and renewal follow naturally. Most people associate aging with what they eat or how much they exercise. Very few realize that sleep may be the strongest anti-aging mechanism the body has. Sleep is not simply rest, it's a nightly biological repair cycle. When you sleep deeply, your body shifts from performance mode into maintenance mode. This is when the real work of longevity happens. During deep sleep, growth hormone is released in higher amounts. This hormone supports tissue repair, muscle maintenance, bone strength, and metabolic balance. As sleep becomes lighter with age, growth hormone release declines, accelerating physical aging. Sleep is also when the brain performs its most critical cleanup process. Through a specialized system, waste products and toxins are flushed from brain tissue. These include proteins linked to cognitive decline. Without sufficient deep sleep, this waste accumulates, increasing the risk of memory problems over time. On a cellular level, sleep is when DNA repair mechanisms become most active. Every day, your cells experience damage from stress, inflammation, and environmental exposure. At night, repair enzymes work to restore genetic integrity. When sleep is disrupted, this repair process is incomplete, leading to faster biological aging. Melatonin plays a central role here. Beyond regulating sleep, melatonin is a powerful antioxidant. It protects mitochondria, the energy-producing structures inside cells, from oxidative damage. As melatonin production declines with age, mitochondrial efficiency suffers, contributing to fatigue and slower recovery. Sleep also regulates metabolism. During high-quality sleep, insulin sensitivity improves, allowing the body to manage blood sugar more effectively. Poor sleep has been shown to promote insulin resistance, weight gain, and increased inflammation, key drivers of aging-related disease. Another often overlooked factor is cortisol. Deep sleep naturally lowers cortisol levels, allowing the body to relax and repair. When sleep is fragmented, cortisol remains elevated, placing the body in a constant low-grade stress state. Chronic stress accelerates cellular aging and weakens immune defenses. Sleep also supports brain plasticity. REM sleep strengthens learning, emotional regulation, and decision-making. Without adequate REM sleep, mood instability and mental fatigue become more common. For older adults, restoring sleep quality can dramatically improve quality of life. Better sleep enhances balance, memory, immune function, and daily energy. It also reduces the risk of falls, metabolic disease, and cognitive decline. What makes sleep so powerful is that it amplifies every other healthy habit. Nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle interventions all work better when sleep is optimized. Without sleep, even the best routines lose effectiveness. The encouraging truth is that the aging sleep system can be supported and retrained. Light exposure during the day, consistent meal timing, calming evening routines, and proper nutrition can restore deeper sleep, even later in life. Sleep is not passive. It's an active renewal process that protects your future health. Protect your sleep, and you protect your longevity. One of the biggest misconceptions about aging is the belief that poor sleep is permanent. In reality, your sleep system is not broken, it's simply out of sync. And the good news is, anything that can fall out of rhythm can be retrained. Your body's internal clock responds to daily signals called time cues. The strongest of these cues are light exposure, food timing, and consistent routines. When these signals are clear and repeated, the brain recalibrates itself. Let's start with light, the most powerful regulator of circadian rhythm. Morning light exposure tells your brain that the day has begun. This helps suppress melatonin early and sets a countdown timer for its release later in the evening. Without sufficient daylight exposure, especially in the morning, the brain loses track of time, leading to delayed sleep at night. Spending 20 to 30 minutes outdoors in the morning, even on cloudy days, can significantly strengthen your sleep rhythm. For older adults, this single habit often leads to earlier sleep onset and fewer nighttime awakenings. Equally important is darkness at night. Artificial lighting, especially blue light from screens, suppresses melatonin. With age, melatonin production is already lower, making the brain even more sensitive to nighttime light exposure. Dimming lights in the evening and avoiding screens at least an hour before bed helps signal the nervous system to slow down. This doesn't require perfection, just consistency. Next comes routine. The brain thrives on predictability. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends, reinforces circadian timing. Irregular schedules confuse the sleep system, keeping it unstable. Consistency teaches the brain when to release sleep hormones naturally. Another critical factor is evening stimulation. As bedtime approaches, the nervous system needs a gradual transition from alertness to rest. Loud environments, intense conversations, or emotionally charged content can keep stress hormones elevated well into the night. Calming routines, such as light stretching, reading, breathing exercises, or quiet reflection, help activate the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the body's natural brake pedal. Temperature also matters. Sleep onset requires a drop in core body temperature. Keeping the bedroom cool and avoiding heavy blankets or late-night hot meals can make falling asleep much easier. Nutrition continues to play a supporting role here. Magnesium-rich foods, glycine-containing foods, and balanced evening meals all help the nervous system shift into rest mode. Perhaps most importantly, retraining sleep requires patience. The circadian system responds gradually. Improvements often begin within a week, but full realignment may take several weeks of consistency. This isn't about forcing sleep. It's about creating the conditions where sleep becomes inevitable. When light, food, timing, and routine work together, the brain remembers how to rest. And when the brain rests properly, the entire body follows. At this point, one truth should be clear: sleep is not optional for healthy aging. It is foundational. Everything in the body depends on it, from memory and immunity to metabolism and emotional balance. When sleep declines, the body doesn't just feel tired. It begins to age faster. Poor sleep weakens the immune system, making the body more vulnerable to illness. It disrupts blood sugar control, increasing the risk of metabolic disease. It interferes with brain repair, accelerating cognitive decline. And over time, it quietly erodes quality of life. But the most powerful message is this: sleep can be restored. By supporting your circadian rhythm, nourishing your sleep chemistry, and respecting your body's natural timing, you give your biology the opportunity to reset. Deep sleep is not something you chase, it's something you allow. Every improvement compounds. Better sleep leads to better energy. Better energy encourages movement. Movement improves metabolism. Improved metabolism supports deeper sleep. This positive cycle is one of the most reliable pathways to sustained health as we age. Sleep is also deeply connected to independence. Well-rested adults experience better balance, sharper thinking, and faster reaction times. This reduces fall risk, improves confidence, and supports daily functioning. Emotionally, restorative sleep stabilizes mood and reduces anxiety. The brain becomes more resilient to stress. Decision-making improves. Motivation returns. What's remarkable is that none of this requires extreme measures. It begins with small, consistent choices: eating earlier, getting morning light, calming the evening, and feeding the body the nutrients it needs to unwind. Sleep is the time when your body heals quietly, without effort or awareness. It's when damaged cells are repaired, toxins are removed, and the brain resets itself for the next day. You don't need perfect sleep. You need consistent, deeper sleep. And when that happens, aging slows, vitality improves, and the body begins to work with you rather than against you. Sleep is not the end of your day, it's the foundation of your tomorrow.